friends, thanks for joining me for Mindful Journaling. I am sitting out on my pool deck. I'm sorry if you can hear my pool pump. Hopefully I'm close enough to the camera where you can hear me okay. At any rate, I want to read this week's prompts to you. I'm looking at it on my community tab, so if you want to join in, you can check out my community tab and you'll see them on there. They're also in my description box for my mindful journaling videos. But today, March 8th, it says, what are your thinking patterns? Do you find yourself worrying and focusing on negativity? Do your thoughts control parts of your life? And actually, I want to apologize. I wrote that wrong on the prompt, but it is what it is, and I'm not perfect, and I'm okay with that. So, so yes, do your thoughts control parts of your life? So I went ahead and I wrote my journaling down about that, and this is how I felt about those prompts. I am an optimist by nature, so I don't live in the past and typically don't have negative thinking patterns unless I'm triggered by someone or something. I'm not a worrier by nature. I tend to go with the flow, but I have noticed since I've gotten older, I tend to have anxiety sometimes. I am aware of it, and I'm pretty good at talking myself through it. And that's something I do, is sort of a self checklist. If I start to feel anxious about something and I can't pinpoint that it's something specific, I'll sort of go through a checklist and I'll say to myself, are you okay? Yes. Are the kids okay? Yes. Is Carl okay? Yes. Is the house okay? Yes. So on and so forth. And I'll just sort of go through this mental checklist, and it sort of centers me and brings me to the present moment. And that way I can say, okay, this is just anxiety, not sure what's going on, but as far as I know, everything actually is okay. And that really helps me deal with it and helps me sort of move forward with my day. As far as thoughts controlling parts of my life, I would say mostly not, except for what I journaled about last week. I'm not one to allow my thoughts to overrun me or control my life or control my decisions. Again, I can get triggered sometimes, and like last week was a really heavy journaling session, very emotional. Sometimes things can trigger me, but not on the daily. I feel that I've mastered that. And again, just by virtue of nature, me not being a negative person and not just living in that space, I choose not to live in that space. I think I do pretty good with that. I do like to look forward, which is probably a survival tactic for me mentally. And because of that, I want to be sure I don't miss out on the present. And that is something I am aware of, is that I call it living in fast forward. Because I'm always looking forward. I don't allow myself really to live in the past too much, again, unless I get triggered. But that's a whole separate thing. The danger of living too much in fast forward motion is missing out on the present, and I am aware of it. So I try to truly take things one day at a time, but I know that because the way my brain works, and I have ADHD and all these things going on, that also catapults me to living a very just forward-thinking life. I'm always, what's the next thing? And I know a lot of you are like that, especially as artists. I think we're always looking forward. So I do that, and part of my goals for this mindful journaling is to just make sure I'm not missing out on right here, right now. So we're working on that. I really appreciate you guys spending some time with me, and I have to say that I appreciate the support that you've given me during this mindful journaling, because some of it's been really sensitive in nature, and it leaves me feeling very vulnerable, sort of putting myself out there like that. And I really appreciate all the support that you've given me. I want you to know that. Thanks for watching. See you soon.